'Tis I.
Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh, and unfortunately, it is time for us to fully say goodbye to the 3DS and the Wii U. Now, the Wii U is some kind of special to me. I loved this console when it was out, and it was trying to prosper and trying to survive in the landscape, and we all know it didn't do very good. We all know it was kind of a flop, especially after the success of the Wii, and sandwiched now with the success of the Switch. The Wii U is something of a black sheep of the Nintendo console family, but I don't think it should be overlooked entirely. There are some special things about it, and there are some things I want to reflect on in this video and talk about, and towards the end, we will be going through my collection of Wii U games, telling some stories, and reflecting on this console that we've recently lost. This here, a little bit beat up, a little bit scratched up, is my Wii U. Fresh from 2013, I got this only about a month after the Wii U actually came out, so I was a very early adopter of the Wii U. This is the earliest adopting I did of a console ever. And unfortunately, this basically is just a black brick at this point, because I have experienced the problem that a lot of people are seeing right now, which is the power supply issue. I don't exactly know the wording for it. I noticed it about a year ago when the announcement came that the eShops were going to be closing down. And I wanted to check it out and see what was in the eShop and see if there's anything I could get my hands on that I wanted to play. And unfortunately, even back then, I couldn't. This is something to do with the power. There's like a problem. I'm not exactly sure what the solution will be going forward, because from what I understand, the solution for the longest time was to send these back to Nintendo and they'll fix them. But that's not an option anymore. So hopefully one day someone will come up with a way to fix these that we can all kind of easily do, because the fixing now is pretty complicated and it's not something that's in my technical wheelhouse. But I mean, I have my original gamepad still with this plastic case that I was gifted to protect it for some reason, even though it just kind of makes it look gawky, and because of it, it gave it these weird I call tan lines you can see on the console itself, which just where the dirt kind of landed. Oh no, which you can see where the dirt kind of landed and stuff on it, which I suppose, scrub off really well, but you can still really see it. So I'm really gonna have to clean that if I want it to look pristine. But because of having the shell on it, I got very used to the extra thickness, so it felt correct in my hands. So anytime I pick it up without it, it feels a little off. But that's my Wii U, and, it's sad to think that I can't even play this right now. Maybe somewhere down the line I could maybe try to fix it or find someone that can fix it, but something like this is very out of my wheelhouse, and I get very nervous dealing with electronics and whatnot. So I know at a very, 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 very basic level, like, one time I successfully changed an iPad screen, but, like, that's not a thing I want to do. And it took hours to do, and I'm sure I could take it to an official repair shop and they would have had it done a lot faster. But yeah, that's that. Luckily, though, a lot of the games that were on the Wii U exclusively have been ported other places. You can see some of them behind me. Only Lego City behind me have I played on the Wii U and the Switch. I don't typically double down on games very often, so that was one example, because the Wii U, well, I can get into it more when I get to it in the Wii U collection, but the other two I only got on the Switch, and same with a lot of other games floating around that were on the Switch from the Wii U. Anyways, let's get into what probably is going to be the longest section of this video, which is the collection. So let's get this bad boy started. I typically do collection videos here, and we're kind of go through them. These are in alphabetical order. The stack is a lot smaller than what I've done in the past, whether it be my Blu-ray, my Switch collection, my PlayStation 5 collection, which is kind of crazy to say that my PlayStation 5 collection is already past the entire lifespan of my Wii U, but that's just how it's been so far. So, like I said, if my Wii U can ever be fixed, I would like to perhaps get a couple more games for the system. There are a couple floaters that I would like to have, which I don't know if they're going to be super rare one day because there wasn't many copies made, or if they'll be very cheap because no one really cares. But I'll go through what I have here, and I do have some fantastic games that I have stories to tell. So let's get it all started with a bit of a strange one that I'm not sure a lot of people would have, and that's the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the Ultimate Edition, which includes a bonus 4-game content pack, which I don't know what that means. But so the Amazing Spider-Man, so I'm sure a lot of you know, was the movie, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movie. This game started to be like an open world Spider-Man game, and you gotta remember this was before the 2018 Spider-Man game, so I really wanted a game where I could explore New York City, swing around, fight some baddies, and this game kind of did that. It's just okay. Weirdly enough, though, I got this, I asked for it for, I think, my birthday or whatever. I was young enough at the time, so I remember I got this on the Wii as well, and that wasn't very good. I also got it on the 3DS because I played a demo, and I really liked it on the 3DS as well. So I have this game like 3 times over, but this was just okay. I know they made a second one for the second Amazing Spider-Man movie, but maybe that one's better. I don't know. We're moving on to Assassin's Creed 3. So my very first Assassin's Creed game, and it's pretty straightforward. It's just Assassin's Creed 3. It has some different stuff on the gamepad, but you gotta remember, for me at the time, the Wii U was like the thing. Like, I was a diehard Nintendo fan already, so I wanted all my games for the Wii U. I didn't care about Xbox, didn't care about PlayStation. I wanted Wii U versions of my games, and so here, this is my version of Assassin's Creed 3. It's not a bad game, I just didn't really love it all that much. I think this came out very early on the Wii U, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, baby. Batman Arkham City, the Armored Edition. I believe, to this day, this is the best version of this game, because the puzzles and the map system being on the gamepad adds a lot to this. And the added thing of, like, the Armored Edition is, like, you have the special electric gauntlets that you can use, you don't have to use, to make fights a little easier if you're having a tough time. I love this game. This is one of my favorite games, period. And I think this might be the best version. So if you have a Wii U and you like this game, if you never played this game, I think it's a masterpiece, whatever you play it on. But I definitely think that, weirdly enough, the Wii U version is the best. And of course, we have the prequel, Batman Arkham Origins. Pretty disappointing, especially at the time, game. It's not made by Rocksteady. It's made by Warner Brothers Montreal, who try their best to capture the magic of the Arkham games, but they just don't get it perfect. It's not a bad game by any means, but I remember playing it and just kind of going through the motions. And while I loved getting the Riddler trophies and all the side quests in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and Arkham Knight even afterwards, I did not in this. I didn't care as much, which is a bit unfortunate. It's set at Christmas time, which it's a cool aesthetic. It's a cool idea. We'll go back to it. I'll get on like the PlayStation 3 or 360 and give it another try. Bayonetta 2. I remember this game coming out and it being a huge deal because Nintendo saved Bayonetta. And then after that narrative ended, there were people complaining, why is that game only on the Wii U? I don't want to buy a Wii U to play that. And it was very annoying. That's why partially the Wii U kind of did not so great, is because people refused to buy it to play games that they even wanted to play. So a bit unfortunate of a story there. I played this for a good bit. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I was definitely not into hack and slashes at the time I played this, so something like a Platinum Games would not have won me over nearly. But it's cool enough to say that I have played it on its original hardware. It's a good game. Everyone knows it's a good game. Another fantastic game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. maybe the best. Oh, there's another one coming up, but maybe the best platformer on the console of all time. Donkey Kong is incredible. I love the guy. I absolutely love him. This game is no different. I love Donkey Kong games, and this is a maybe the best ever, which is a tall order because a lot of people love Donkey Kong Country 2, even the original. There's a lot of great ones in there. So this is incredible. It was incredible back then. It's great on the Switch. Play it however you can. The original Hyrule Warriors. This was my very first Warriors type game. Just slaying so many bad guys as Link and Zelda, Sheik, and there's a lot of cool characters you could to play in this game. It took me a little bit to get in the rhythm of everything because it took a story that's like connected, but obviously it's not a real Zelda story. I can't say real. I guess in every Zelda game story is technically fake in that aspect, but this game it plays pretty good. I remember I got this one pretty late in the Wii U's life cycle, but I liked it, and but other Warriors type games have surpassed it since. Injustice: Gods Among Us. This is probably the best example of the Wii U is just my main console, so this is why I have it on here, because I don't think many people have Injustice on the Wii U. But I do. I also have the deluxe version on the PlayStation 4, which I got later, which has a little DLC, because the only DLC I bought on this, I think, was Scorpion, which is, I mean, cool, but also, why did I do that? Because I complained about why is there a Mortal Kombat character? I don't think that's very cool. And Injustice 2 put 2 Mortal Kombat characters in. So it's like, I was part of the problem why they probably did that. Because they saw the one guy who had it on the Wii U bought the Scorpion. So they were like, well, Wii U audience is doing pretty good with those characters. But yeah, game's fun. I hope they make a third one. Here's some Lego stuff here. We have Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. This is another pretty late one. I remember specifically wanting this on the PlayStation 4, but I was gifted this, so I wasn't going to complain. Pretty okay Lego game. They had some weird things with the levels in the back half where I didn't like it as much, but it has a really cool cast of characters to play in that game. Big hitter here, Lego City Undercover. This game, I think, was supposed to be a launch title, but got pushed back a little bit. But this was like the shot in the arm that I needed to say the Wii U was my favorite console at the time. Because, like, it had the original push of Wii U games, right? And I got it very early, so I was involved in that. Batman Arkham City was one of those. This game comes out a couple months later. It's a new game, a new Lego game, and I was right around that age where Lego games were incredible. This game, big open world, so much things to do, and it's an absolute blast. I loved this game. I still think it's pretty good, but if you would have asked me a couple months after that game came out, what's one of the best games of all time, I would have told you Lego City Undercover. I mean, but it got one-upped by Lego Marvel Superheroes. This game does a lot of things that Lego City Undercover does. Big open world, fantastic characters, and just makes it better. Obviously, having the Lego license and the Marvel license is a huge plus because you can do a lot with those things. But that game's awesome. That, to this day, is one of the best Lego games. Not necessarily on the Wii U only, but it's a great game. Mario Kart 8. This is the reason why I don't have it on the Switch. Because I played it in 2013 when it came out. And I don't really want to buy it again, but I guess I have to because they just keep working on Mario Kart 8 instead of making Mario Kart 9. But hey, it's great. It's Mario Kart. I mean, everyone knows it's a great game. So, Need for Speed Most Wanted U. I don't know exactly what the U... Oh, I guess you can, on the back here, it says you can play co-op on the gamepad. So, cool game. This is one of my first, open world driving game. This is pre my Forza love, all that. It's a pretty good game. I'd like to try more Need for Speed stuff because I haven't really played much, but I had fun with that. New Super Mario Bros. U. This is another one of the games I got with my console. I think you're required to own this game if you have a Wii U. It's not very hard. It's not very complex, but it's light and it's pleasant and it's Mario and it's a fun time. If you want something a bit harder and something more grandiose, your Donkey Kong's right there. But also, you have New Super Luigi U. This is I think it was DLC for Mario Brothers U, and then they just released it into its own package. This game is a good bit harder. They make the levels only be a minute long, or 100 seconds or something like that, so you have to speed run it. It can get a lot harder than the original, and it's really good. It has a lot of cool stuff going for it. And then the last of my games I started my console with, Nintendo Land. This is incredible. This game was so good. One of the best intros to a console, I think. Shows what the gamepad's capable of, able to have hours upon hours of fun. It's a harder sell than something like a Wii Sports, where you see a guy swing a Wiimote at a TV and that guy moves in tennis. That's really cool. It's harder to be like, you gotta hold the Wii U pad and go like this, and then you shoot shurikens. It's like a reference to Murasame's Castle, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? But as a Nintendo fan, this is incredible. There's so much stuff to do in this game, and it's hours and hours of fun. I don't even think I fully 100%ed it, but there's a lot to do in that game, and it's fantastic. A must own if you're collecting for the Wii U. This one, I would say that, but again, a lot of games get ported. But Pikmin 3, again, incredible. Came out at a dead spot, which is pretty much every Wii U game that actually came out. Came out at a seemingly dead spot. This game was wonderful. It's what all the Pikmin fans wanted. This is my first Pikmin game, however, so it made me fall in love with the series. Just a wonderful game, and got ported to the Switch, which is great for people to play, and we finally have Pikmin 4 coming, which is awesome. Another game which I think was supposed to come out around launch, we got Rayman Legends, which has GameStop exclusive in-game character outfits, which is like just included on the cover, which I don't even know what outfit that is or anything, but whatever. This game is super good. Another great 2D platformer. This actually wasn't the one I was thinking of when I was contemplating if Donkey Kong was the best, but this one's up there as well. I think the Wii U one is the best version of this because it was built with the Wii U gamepad in mind for some of the levels, so it has some really cool stuff with that. I remember playing the demo for that at a GameStop, weirdly enough, the same one I bought that at, so I guess it all kind of full circles, but that game was really good. This game came out, I got this pretty early as well in the Wii U's lifespan. Scribblenauts Unlimited. This was a really cool series that I don't really know what happened to, where it's basically puzzles, and you'd walk around this world and people would ask you for help with something. And it was like something simple like, oh, I need to go somewhere. Or I remember one specifically was like, I need a ride. Me and my date need a ride to go out or something like that. And you can put something simple like a car. Or you can get a little more fancy like a horse-drawn chariot. Or like you can go goofy. I wrote like mustard. And it's like, that won't work. A rideable mustard. And that works. You see him hop on a mustard and bounce away. Like, it's as goofy as you want it to be, or as straightforward as you want it to be. It's a very good creative puzzle game that got a pseudo, I guess it's a sequel, spin-off, Scribblenauts Unmasked, which has DC characters and DC problems. I remember the framework of this game being bad, though. The first game, I guess that technically wasn't the first Scribblenauts game, but first one on console was very well designed to have big levels that you could walk around. This one had weird levels, which was hard to find what you were actually supposed to be doing. But still, more Scribblenauts was not a bad thing. Shovel Knight. This was the one I was talking about. This might be one of the best games on the console. I mean, it is one of the best games on the console. It might be one of the best games, period. It's a throwback to your 8 and 16-bit adventures. It's a wonderful game. It's been ported a bunch. It's been enhanced a bunch. I got it here on the Wii U, which is where it originated. I think it's either this or the 3DS, somewhere around there. I've loved the character of Shovel Knight ever since. I have not played much of the expansions, but I know I should. But this game is awesome, and you should play it. Going through, definitely you notice like part of the problem with the Wii U is that there's just a lot of platformers. If you're not a platformer fan, it's easy to be like, well, that console's not for me. and so it's hard to convince people otherwise, because there's a lot of platformers on the console. Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. And this is, I mean, it's hard to just, like, justify an older Smash game now when Ultimate is the way it is. And this is, like, the precursor to Ultimate. It has, obviously, a good chunk of the characters, a good chunk of the content, but this does have some cool stuff that the Switch version does not. It also has compatibility with, like, the 3DS, which has a weird thing. This one has, like, it has some stuff, like, moves. You can learn moves for different characters that you can't use otherwise. Like, that was a strange idea, but really good. I mean, Smash. You can't really go wrong. Super Mario 3D World. This was our 3D Mario of the generation, and it was kind of a letdown. It's a really, really good game, but we all kind of wanted, like, another Galaxy or something akin to 64. This wasn't it. This was a level-based, like, open-ish levels, but still level-based platforming. Again, another good platformer, but if you just don't like platformers, it's hard to justify. The Wonderful 101. A very strange game, which I, thought this was going to be like a nice new IP for Nintendo, but then Nintendo just didn't like it, or didn't sell well enough, so Platinum just has the rights and put it on every other system, which feels weird to me to see this game exist on, like, a PlayStation, but it does, so. Good game, though. Very strange game. Yoshi's Woolly World. Again, platformer. Great platformer, in fact. Adorable. Love Poochie. I love Yoshi in this game. Has a lot of cool things with, like, amiibos and costumes. A very cute, very enjoyable game. But again, platformer. So, hard to justify. And the final game we have here is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Oh boy. This game is wonderful. I love Twilight Princess. It was my first Zelda game, so of course I have that attachment to it. I think whatever your first Zelda game is one of your favorite Zelda games, even if it's not a very good one. This is a really cool thing. Comes with the amiibo, obviously. I only played this for a little bit, but it's a really great game. I wish I could go back and play some more of it, but we know it's power issues. So, but it's still super cool. Looks great on a shelf, I guess. Unopened amiibo. Probably worth something, too. I don't even know. But that's my Wii U collection and my Wii U system. There are a couple of downloaded games I had on it. The Pokemon Rumble game I had a lot of fun with, even though it wasn't that great. It had its own selection of not amiibos, but like amiibo-esque figures, which was kind of neat. I had all my stuff from the Wii on there, which is unfortunate. Like all the downloaded stuff I had from my Wii is also on my Wii U, so hopefully I can at least get the data off or something, because I have like Snap on there, and I do have some Virtual Console games. I have Superstar Saga, and I have Ice Climber, F-Zero, if I wanted to try those out. I also have the biggest one, really, would be Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. So I don't have physically, because I had it digitally. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. There might be one or two other games on my Wii U that I'm not remembering, but that was the gist of it. And it stinks that, yeah, mine is bricked. Hopefully anyone seeing this, yours isn't, because I think this console was very underlooked. There's even a couple more games, like I said up front, that came out on the Wii U that I don't have, that I would kind of like to have. Like Xenoblade and Star Fox come to mind immediately, that I don't have, and haven't been ported yet, so I don't know. Hopefully one day I can get it fixed, or those games will be ported or something, so. Anyways, that'll about do it for me. Have you played the Wii U? Did you own a Wii U? Do you still own a Wii U? I'd be very curious to know and to hear about your experiences with this console. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.